All right, what's up, YouTube? Central Valley Smash. Whoever else is gonna watch this interview right now, I'm pointing in the direction. Spark676. I've known this kid for a while, but we're just gonna get right into it. Spark, tell us your name, where you're from, and how you got into Smash.
My name is Zaid Ali. I live in Tracy, California, and I've been playing Smash since I was a kid. But one of my best friends, who lives in San Jose, he showed me the Smash documentary, and our first tournament was the Arcadian, and then I got hooked.
Arcadian. So, what happened at NorCal Arcadian that got you hooked?
Uh, Nothing. Just the fact that it was a Super Smash Bros. Melee tournament and everything that comes along with that. Other than that, it was a horrible tournament. It was like one of the worst tournaments I've ever been at. It was so bad. It was just it was the world's smallest venue at like 120 people. There was like smoke from all different kinds of apparatuses in the in the building, and it was just bad news. But the fact that like I don't know, just like you could play friendlies, you could meet new people. There was doubles and singles.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was pretty cool. Um, the whole concept of pools. I went 0-5 in my pool.
Oh, was it a round robin?
hmm I took a game off one guy who only down smashed, but I couldn't beat him, and
Dang.
that was it.
Was it a peach?
Yeah.
Nice. So did you always main Sheik? Or what? What is your?
Yeah,
Yeah.
since the beginning, it was just I'm the best with cheat. I did. It wasn't even a decision. It wasn't even something that came across my mind. It was like I have to because this is my best character. There's no possible way I could abandon all my skill with this character. So yeah, I switched to Marth for one day because I thought he was really cool, and then I did. After that one day, it was like a few months in. I was like, I'm gonna switch to Marth. He's so much
Uh-huh.
cooler. And then I was like, nope, can't do that.
Um. Now, I first met you at UOP in Stockton. Um. Tell me about how like you got into the local scene, in Stockton, and then also like continuing on to Modesto and Tracy and all those other places. Like, what was going on?
I think I had been playing for like anywhere from like 10 months to like 1.5 years. I've been playing
Hmm.
something like that. I don't remember where it was posted, but I think it was like some Stockton Melee. It wasn't Central Valley Smash, but I think it was like Tracy Melee, something like that. There was some Facebook group that I joined. It had not that many people, but there was a post that was like, "There's a UOP tournament, blah blah blah." And the reason I went to that was because I believe I had an SAT that day in Stockton, and I begged my mom to like when she picked me up to take me to that tournament. So
So you came to that tournament right after your SAT.
yeah,
Did you do well in the SAT?
I've taken it like I think two times. The first one was like it was like 1750. I think this was the second one where I got like 1990. Which
Oh,
wasn't
nice, nice.
Yeah, my brother did like so much better, so I was like upset
Oh.
because I just wanted to beat him, but I didn't have the talent.
Didn't you
Yeah.
tell me before that your brother also got you into Smash, or?
um, Sort of, but not too much. He sort of laid a little bit of a foundation because he like many years ago he like loved Ken. He played Marth. He knew how to wave dash and L cancel,
Hmm.
and but we never really played melee. Well, we did play melee, but he never taught me any of those techniques. And we would go back and forth because even though he knew all these techniques, I played Sheik, so it balanced out.
Uh-huh.
And he also showed me Brawl Plus, which was a mod. We used to play it all the time, and then we played Project M a little bit, but I still didn't know anything like that. And that's basically all that we had done at that point. And then it was my other friend. His name slash tag is Zan,
Hmm.
and he goes to some San Jose State tournaments. He's the one who showed me the documentary, and that's how I got hooked.
Oh, I see. Okay. Now you are, I guess, a newer generation Smash player. Now you know me and my old man stories that I tell all the time. How we got good by playing each other, going to each other's houses, and going to tournaments all the time. Now I remember you always talked about net play, and you were the first one of the first ones here in this region to start playing on net play. And then you also I don't know if 20XX already existed when you started practicing tech chasing and stuff, but I guess you were known for like getting good through net play and practicing tech chasing and tech skill and stuff. So tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, I remember. I think the reason everything worked out for me was because of my optimism. Because everyone around me had this like negative vibe where they were like, "There's no way we can get good at this game because we live in the middle of freaking nowhere. It's just awful." And on top of that, like, yeah, like kids my age like usually didn't really know how to drive. Um, so nobody would play with me. But anyway, I I got net play. It was really bad, but I was also really bad, so it balanced out. And a lot of people in that day like were like, "This is horrible," and it probably was horrible. But I was optimistic, and I was like, "No, I'm gonna use this to be a good player. I want people to think that I'm cool and good, and everything's gonna be great." And then I remember my first time getting the 20XX hack pack. It was very confusing for me, but my brother already had a hacked Wii, so I tried to get it on there. I remember we were in vacation in somewhere, I think it was Palm Springs in SoCal, and um, I'd just gone to an SSS because I convinced my parents to take me like 30 minutes to SSS,
Mm-hmm.
and it was amazing. It was right before MLG Anaheim. I saw Mute King. I was too shy to talk to anyone, but I was terrible. I lost. I think I got farmed in pools by Hugo Sheik and Mike Hayes, and like everyone else. And I came back and I was like, man, I need to get this 20XX hack pack. And so what I did was we had like 5 gigs of shared data a month or something, and I just was like, all right, there's the internet doesn't work in this hotel, so I bit the bullet and I downloaded that thing 1.5 gigs. I downloaded the ISO, like burned it on a disk, and I finally got it. And I practiced alone. I don't. I think I brought a CRT because we also played Mario Kart online with that. So yeah, So I just practiced alone with that. It was the first time, and I was hooked. And I was like, I'm gonna. I saw the video on YouTube that was like all the tech skill and also Sheik specific tech skill, and I was like, I'm gonna master all of this. And I think that's the reason I'm good at Narada Shield, which has kind of carried me a long way.
Narrate a shield that scared you only.
Yeah. So yeah, that's about it.
Okay. Now I guess I want to ask a little bit. This is a little bit about a story of me and you. Um, because you pretty much you got good fairly fast because you had those. You had your way to practice net play and 20XX. So you were able to get better without coming to a lot of tournaments. But you still came to a lot of tournaments. You pretty much came to everything you could make it to. It was always your mom driving you, right? Pretty much back and forth. And
Yep.
we would face off at locals all the time. And I actually didn't even know how to wobble a lot very well when we first started playing a lot. And then because our sets were getting closer and closer, I started wobbling you more. And then eventually you came to be known as one of the best Cheek players at the Ice Climbers matchup. So tell me your side of that narrative, I guess.
Uh, I I think the fact that when I was 12 years old, my brother forced me to read "Playing to Win" by David Serlin in SSR in our silent reading of middle school. He was a weird guy. I don't know why he made me read that, but it did help, and it showed me like all the common pitfalls of competitors where you you don't blame yourself, you blame your opponent. You blame your opponent for being lame. You just like stuff like that, just like not like appreciating the fact that they're doing everything it takes to win,
Mm-hmm.
and also placing the blame not on yourself but on anything else, the matchup, their lameness, the heat of the venue, I don't know, stuff like that. It just taught me how to have a not a great mindset, but at least a tolerable mindset that didn't give up.
Mm-hmm.
And when I played you first time, like before I started going to like UOP and onwards, like there was nothing, and I probably had gone to 2 tournaments my entire life in like 1 year. But after that, when I was just happy that there were tournaments, and I remember the day I graduated high school was like one of the first times I've ever played against your ice climbers, because you would farm me with Falcon for like a good 3-4 tournaments,
Yeah.
and I think in friendlies I finally started to barely beat your Falcon in those friendlies. So I think that's why you decided to go Ices that tournament. And I
Yeah.
remember I barely beat Notorious that same day, and that was like winners semis or something. Then I played you, and I remember you said, I look forward to seeing what you have for this matchup. And I like smiled, but in my
Yeah,
head I was
yeah.
like, there's literally nothing I know what to do in this matchup. And so I just ran on the platforms because I heard go on platforms. And
Yeah.
then I did the same tech skill sequence: reverse needle, run off fair. We'll go back on platform. The wave land on all the platforms. Reverse needle, run off fair, over and over and over again. That wasn't very good, but I had relentless optimism, and I didn't get down on myself for the fact that I literally knew nothing, and the fact that like everyone said this matchup sucked for Sheik, and I don't know. I took pride in the fact that I was relentlessly optimistic, and I was
Yeah.
like, I'll never give up. I'll never surrender. I'll figure this out. And it took like a year and a half or 2 years. I think there was a period like in the next year and a half where I finally took 2 sets. No, I took 1 set, and you were in losers because you went Marth versus Jamie,
Mhm.
and I won the tournament because I had such a big like fallback, because I just went cheek and I was in Grand's winner side and you were in losers. You beat me the first set, and
Hold up, hold
then
up. Your
you
camera
were beating me the
disappeared.
second
Oh,
set.
there you are. Never mind.
All
You're
right,
back.
like
You're back.
okay. So you beat me the first set, and you were beating me the second set, and I remember like taking a deep breath and saying, "All right, I'm probably gonna lose, like I always do. I need to just focus on doing things as well as you can. Focus on the substance of the game." And I guess that made me lucker out, because that made me like be able to focus better. And I was barely able to beat you that tournament.
Uh-huh.
It was just 1 set because you lost to Jamie. So I that was also very lucky. That was the first time I beat you, and it was somewhat of a fluke because I think I was playing like peak performance on top of a year of playing Versailles, on top of the fact that you had lost to Jamie.
Mhm.
And because after that you would still go back to farming me for like another good year and a half. I you would
Was it
you
really
would
that
you would
long?
I think so. I remember like the only time I started to get close was when I finally beat DP and PM, and
Mhm.
then I like took you to game 5 at button check, and that
Mhm.
was when I was in Santa Cruz. I'm pretty sure
Mhm.
I was already in UC Santa Cruz like for like a good year by the time I was like pushing you to the brink. It
Mhm.
definitely was like a year and a half, or I think it was just 1 year, and then I finally beat you once, and then it was another year and a half, and then I finally took you to game 5. And then like the next couple of months, I started to really get it during over summer during the Boulevard era.
Yeah.
I think Azel's like first like signs of existence era as
Mhm.
well.
And then
So
after all of our sets, there was an infamous I guess a Twitch clip of you saying, "I don't want to get wobbled again" over at Button Check, and I don't know if you were actually frustrated or if that was just memeing, but
that's kind of memeing, but
yeah,
I was scared about playing you because you I think you beat DP or something, and I was like, no, you
yeah,
beat DP.
yeah, yeah, and then but eventually you went on to like taking games off Nintendo and then DizKid and then like playing all these different ices. Because I remember, I think it was a couple Genesises where you were like losing to Jigglypuff and Ice Climbers and all these frustrating matchups. But eventually you started to get it. And then tell me about like your sets with DizKid and Nintendo, who are obviously better than me going to the future. I remember watching those and being like, whoa, he's actually good at the matchup. It's not just learning me, but overall knowing the matchup pretty well.
um, Honestly, like I was like I never expected to be able to beat those players, but I once again I was able to focus on the substance of the game rather
Mm-hmm.
than care like trying to attach so much to doing a good job or whatever. I was just
Mm-hmm.
I it was one of my first experiences with flow state, and it kind of happened by luck,
Oh.
but I'm happy it did. There was a period of like 6 months where the two most important tournaments of my life, which were Genesis 3 and NorCal Arcadian 3, I lost to Puff and Ices, and then both times.
Mm-hmm.
And I was really, really dejected, really, really sad. But at the same time, I always had relentless optimism. I knew it was my fault. And no matter what people said about Sheik Ices or Sheik Puff, I was like, it's definitely my fault that my computer is sleeping. One sec. Okay.
Okay.
So I knew it was my fault, and then I wasn't great at analysis, but I tried really hard to analyze and also practice as much as I could with net play. And eventually, it proved like my knowledge was at least somewhat decent, and I knew the good options that weren't super risky. I wasn't a down smasher against like ices or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I really had a knack for just understanding how they worked. They needed to wave dash to move, blah blah blah. And I remember I played Nintendo once. I was very like I was very tight, and I was very afraid of Nintendo's wobble. So I would only be on the platforms. I would only fight. Like I would only just like needle and run away the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
I would never push any advantages, and then that got me killed. And then I remember asking him questions, and he said, the risk reward of doing that is like not worth it, because like you're just gonna like best case scenario you land like some needles. Best case scenario for me, I grab you out of your movement. And I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense. And then the next time around, we played on stream the next time. All of these sets are at the Foundry because NorCal kind of sucks is the only possible time I could play with them.
Yeah.
It's all thanks to Andre taking me many times. And the next time, I barely lost 1-2. I remember just experiencing a lot of just like flow where I would just really have a knack for this kind of stuff because I was familiar with it. It wasn't all that difficult anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So I was able to finally be able to do that. And then the next time after that, another Foundry, I remember doing extremely well game one against him. And then I was just like I was having a good time too. I was really enjoying like playing against ice climbers. And I didn't feel that much fear and anxiety. And I was able to like really, I basically beat him. But then something really bad happened and I killed myself at 0 despite being like 1 hit away from killing him. And that was like rekindled all the stress and anxiety. I remember playing horribly the first stock. And then I was like doing like panic options. And then like midway through the stock, I was like, what am I doing? Now I'm starting to really care about getting back what I had earned. And I like took a second to like refocus myself, focus on the substance of the game. And then I won 2-1. So
nice.
Yeah, and ever since then, I realized that I wasn't terrible versus ices anymore, and I started to do better. I would take like the occasional set, but it was definitely like still not even close in my favor, despite what everyone else says. Also, despite what everyone else says, I've never timed out an ice climbers ever, except one time where there were 5 minutes left on the clock and I killed Nana and ran away for 5 minutes because he was being BM to me, so I decided to be BM back. But people say like I remember Toph on Twitter for an argument for the timer being shorter. He was like, "Yeah, dude, people like Spark, they time out ice climbers." Like I've never done that once in my life. I just don't fight on the ground.
Wasn't that a crew battle too when you did that?
Crew battle.
Or was it an actual set?
No, no. When I timed the guy out, no, smashed the record. He actually really enjoyed it. He like fist bumped me twice that day.
Oh, nice.
He's like, I'm so inspired by you. I basically I was up 4 stocks to 1. He wobbled me. He taunted twice, and so I decided to have fun with it. I killed his Nana and I ran away for 6 minutes.
I see. Okay.
But yeah.
Speaking of like not smash the record, well, not just smash the record, but in general, in the past couple of years, you started traveling a lot more to, I guess, Evos, Big House, whatever, Shine, whatever majors you can go to. Tell me about your experience and how you've grown at, like, you know, stepping out of the local scene and traveling more and going to majors.
I am a very sheltered kid. I don't really do anything, and so traveling was pretty scary. But once I realized, like, I've never worked a day in my life, and so once I like got money from locals, I was like, wow, I think maybe I can afford going to these tournaments. And so like I went for it, and it's definitely a lot of issues the first like 5 times flying. I would just like make many mistakes, but so that was rough. But yeah, with traveling, It was very scary because I would fly so much. So there was so much on the line, and uh, I'm not sure what to say. Basically, it was just like a local but amplified. It was just there
Right.
was so much more on the line, and it was a nice experience. And I guess because of the stress from that, I would like make sure everything was perfect, make sure everything was on point. I think those things were the reason why I never really did terribly at a major tournament. But
Mm.
nowadays, that's shifting a little more because now I'm used to traveling, and now I'm not like making sure that I've studied VODs for 10 hours before every single major.
Hmm.
But yeah, and once I realized, it definitely gave me a lot of confidence
Chokenator
because
breaks
I thought that
records.
I never thought I would be as good as I am. At least at first, like I just wanted to be someone known, and I just wanted to make friends. But then later on, I was like, all right, I'm gonna shoot for being the best I can be, and stuff like that. And it really opened my eyes that like I'm not just good in like Central California or
Hmm.
locals where none of the top players attend. I'm actually good on a worldwide scale, and that was it was definitely a big confidence boost, and it made me inspired to keep trying because I actually got something back from my efforts, and I was like, wow, if I just kept doing this, I can push it really far. So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
guess I guess that's about it in
Mm.
terms of traveling. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I have a couple questions. Uh, Now that you've traveled a lot more, I guess one thing that happens because of that is that more people know who you are, especially if you end up making upsets, like beating West Balls or whatever. Um, Now you have Twitter followers, and having a Twitter is like part of your brand as a person. And I know a lot of people know you as like, I don't know, that grimy timeout guy, even though you've never timed out an ICs, or the guy who farmed Plup at Smash the Record because you didn't dare to go secondaries. Um, Tell me about like how you've expressed yourself uh, now that you're in the public eye on Twitter.
Um, to be honest, I've always felt like I like crave attention as a kid, and that hasn't really changed too hard. And so it was great when I found out that like if I just make a bunch of cool, funny tweets, then eventually I'll just get followers. And then like because I'm a dopamine addict for attention, I was like I gotta make funny tweets. So then I
Yeah.
did, and it was a little dejecting to find out like when people saw me on stream was usually when I was when most people didn't like what they saw because
Right.
I was either trying hard, drinking too much water, and stuff
Yeah.
like that. That was very saddening, but it also I think it helped me grow as a because I learned although I do like attention, it's not everything really. You need
Yeah.
to learn to like be happy regardless.
Right. And I think a part of that too, like this try hard persona that you have, I think here in Central California and also in NorCal, and hopefully more people, they really get to know you, we start to embrace that try hard attitude of yours. It's like it's beyond no Johns. You know, back in the day we say no Johns, don't make excuses, but it's more like
Mm-hmm.
one catchphrase I've sort of learned from you during this interview is relentless optimism, and
Mm-hmm.
that comes with that trying hard persona that you have, and I think we've
Yeah,
come
I
to
think
embrace it.
yeah, I think they work together like hand in hand because like when people start hating me, I still have relentless optimism. Yeah, no matter, even when not in-game things happen to me, I still have relentless optimism.
Yeah.
When there's shit talk, I have relentless optimism. When there's heckling, I have relentless optimism. I was like, I'm gonna fix this, and then I asked Sleepy K, let me get a headphone set up, and then I was like, no, I'll never have to deal with this ever again. And I
Yeah.
was like, NorCal sucks. There are no VODs. I can't do anything. I was like, I have relentless optimism. I'm gonna get a recording set up, and I'm gonna bring it everywhere. My hands are cold. I bought a battery packed flashlight hand warmer.
Yeah.
I can handle anything.
And I think a lot of that comes from just knowing that you need to solve problems, and even at locals, you want to go out of your way to make sure that set's being recorded and making sure you have headphone setups, especially against very heckling heavy crowds, like for example Sacramento, where
Mhm.
another area where you could potentially be getting wobbled and people could be yelling in your ear. So You seem to have covered those options that most people would not.
Yep. That also kind of has to do with a little bit of my OCD personality, where I like to like
Mm.
make sure everything's under control,
Yeah.
and also that also helped in my gameplay. Like I think everyone has their weaknesses and their strengths,
Mhm.
like naturally, I believe. One of my strengths is that my obsessive nature makes me like able to practice alone a lot, and I'll have a lot of fun with it. Like I just listen to music while grinding alone. That's probably why I'm really good at near out of shield. That's why my tech skills pretty quick, and that's probably why I learned about dashback pretty early compared to most other people,
Mhm.
and learned about controllers a lot earlier than most people.
Mhm.
And I forget what I was talking about. What was the question?
I don't really know, but
But yeah.
yeah. But yeah, in the chat we got hashtag relentless optimism. I'm definitely gonna start thinking about that when I think about you now. I guess just to sort of close this out, we sort of talked about most of your Smash career here. Um, I just want to ask you, in your free time, like, do you play other games? I know you play the other Smash games from time to time, like PM and Smash 4. Like, what other stuff do you play? And then, are you gonna play Smash Ultimate?
um, I play DDR and OS, the circle clicking game.
Mm.
I have a Switch, and but honestly, like, I don't. I used to be like a video game fanatic, but since Melee came into my life, like it seems like it's just much more fun to just keep playing it than
Mm.
anything else. And I'd be lying if I said that like if I didn't have Melee, I would be all over other games. I have like I sold a CS:GO knife that I got because I was lucky, and I have a lot of Steam dollars, like 200. I still haven't spent them because I just don't care enough. And I have a Switch, and I just haven't really played too many of the games. I will eventually. I know they're great games. I played them for a few hours, but it just always comes back to Melee. And
Mm.
I do love all the Smash games. I think there's a lot. Although I do think Melee is by far the best. Smash 64 is very fun in its own way. Although at top level it seems pretty stressful. And I don't know anything about Brawl. Project M is pretty fun as well. There's a lot of stuff like I learn about characters. I learn how to adapt quickly. I really enjoy that, and the movement's very fluid in that game. Smash 4 I really enjoy because there's a lot of neutral game. There's actually a good number of movement options with Sheik I really like to do. I
Mm.
also think Fox is sick in that game, although it is kind of frustrating to play as Sheik nowadays with the nerfs.
Mm.
But yeah, I really do love all the Smash games competitively, and so I'm definitely going to push Smash Ultimate as far as I can. I was PR level. I'm everyone would agree I was PR level in 64. Because I went to like one tournament. I think I almost beat the number 2 there,
Mm.
and I did well at Don't Park on the Grass in 64. PM, I was PR. Smash 4, I had beaten several PR players. I was number 1 in Santa Cruz, and I'm definitely gonna try to push Smash Ultimate as far as possible, especially because it looks like it's gonna be a good amount more fun than Smash 4. So
Yeah, for sure.
yeah,
So
it
I'm
looks
looking
great.
forward to playing you in the next generation of Sheik Ices.
Yeah, that does sound fun.
Yeah. Well, at least you won't get wobbled anymore.
Yeah, that's always nice.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, that's pretty much it. I guess right now, go ahead and plug your Twitter, plug your stream. What kind of stuff do you stream? You know, all that.
Yeah, my Twitter is at @spark_SSBM. My Twitch is Spark676. I've been streaming a good amount more lately, but August is the month of tournaments, so I might put that on the back burner.
Yeah.
I've been streaming analysis, net play, and tons of weed music.
Nice.
Sometimes I do solo practice. I think I'm gonna stem into more things. I have a metal DDR mat behind me. I play DDR sometimes.
Okay. All right.
I have maybe OS, maybe Rubik's Cube simulators. Maybe I'll spend an entire day solving a 10x10 Rubik's Cube.
Wow.
The possibilities are endless. But what is a constant throughout all of this chaos is weed music.
Alright, guys, catch Spark. Let me give you a shout out right now on the stream. It's at Spark676, right?
Yeah,
On
676
Twitch.
On Twitch, yeah.
Oh, there you go. All right, so I guess that's it. We will catch you. Oh, are you going to Evo?
Yes, I am.
And what other majors are you planning to go to this year? Big House again?
Luckily, yes, I fell asleep again. Luckily, because of my win at Cascade 2 over Kalamazoo and Commaster,
Mm.
I got money.
Nice.
And so I decided to go to SmashCon and Shine, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to Big House. I should book the flight pretty soon because Big House flights look pretty cheap right now.
Mm.
And don't park on the grass. And I think that'll be it for me this year. Obviously, next year is Genesis.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's about it.
Yeah. So that's like 5 majors. So you're gonna go pretty ham this year.
Yeah.
All
Hopefully
right,
it'll be
dude.
worth it. Gotta practice.
Yeah. Good luck, and I hope you beat some ices on the way. The one person you have yet to beat. I guess he's fallen out of favor now, but Chudat is the ices.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That you have yet
Yeah.
to conquer.
I don't really care too much about that because I don't know. Like I've only gotten a chance to play him once, and I think if I just get better versus ice climbers, I think I'll be fine versus every ice climber.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's a little bit of the nature of the character.
Yeah. All right, dude. That's pretty much it. See you later.
Thanks for having me. Bye
Yeah.
bye.
Yeah. Bye bye.